All right, we are talking about the second baseman's responsibilities. Second baseman right here. Uh, and I like to say that the second baseman's job is usually dictated, well, it's always dictated where the ball's hit, but usually their job is to follow the direction of the ball. There are a couple of exceptions for it and things that they do every time. For instance, if we're talking about a bunt, a player squares around, a batter squares around a bunt, the first baseman is always to crash, and the second baseman is always, always, always to cover first base. Square around a bunt, second base covers first base. That's a situation that never changes depending on the situation. And usually a situation, something that never changes, nobody on, nobody out, ball hit to you, ball hit to the second baseman, they go to first. Two outs, no matter what the situation, a routine ground ball hit to you, we get the out at first because that ends it. Those are the situations that don't usually change. Beyond that, the way that this works is the second baseman tends to follow the direction that the ball goes. So in the infield, if the ball is hit in the infield, oops, that's the first baseman. If the ball is hit in the infield to third base, the second baseman heads over to cover second. Ball's hit to the shortstop, the second baseman heads over to cover second. This is in any scenario, 1 out, 2 outs, no outs, no matter how many runners are on base. If a ball is hit to the left side, even if it's to the outfield, the second baseman's job is always, always, always to cover second. And that also stands for if the ball is hit out here to center field, to the left side of center. So anytime a ball is hit out here to the shortstop, to the third baseman, the second baseman's job in any situation, no matter how many outs, no matter how many runners on, is always to cover second base. And their job is to get there and don't be late. All right, cool. All right, so if we just start to tackle the left side of things for the second baseman, let's just start there. Right, if we put a runner on first, and a ball is hit to the left side, they need to get to second base quick because the ball is coming to them. We're going to try and get to the lead out. So ball to third base, third baseman relays to second to get the force out there. If it's quick, then we relay on to first. Same thing, ball hit to the shortstop. The shortstop is going to flip to the second baseman, and the second baseman is going to relay to first. That's with 0 or 1 out. In this situation, if there are 2 outs, any out doesn't matter. So you still go and cover. The second baseman still goes and covers second, but a ground ball to third base, they may throw to first. But you still need to cover. Ground ball to shortstop, they may flip it to you for the easier out rather than making the long throw. Runner on first, ball hit into the outfield to the left side. Once again, you cover second. The shortstop would be the cutoff for any play out here. All right. So that's with runner on first. Runner on first and second. All right. So like we talked about, any ball to the left side, you still cover second base. In this case, there's a chance you may not get a throw, but your job is still to cover second base. So if we have a softball here, a hard hit to third base, there's now a force out at third. So the third baseman will probably step on third to get out 1, and they won't throw it to you. If it's really quick, they'll go to first because the batter is going to be slower getting out of the box than the runner running off. So hard hit ball in this situation, tag your base, and then they'll throw to first. That's with 0 outs or 1 out. With 2 outs, they tag their base, inning over. A ball to the shortstop, you need to get there. If the ball takes them this direction towards you, they're probably going to flip to you for a quick out. And if it's quick, you relay on to first. We're going to try and turn a double play. If the ball's right here and the shortstop comes and gets the ball here, it's a third baseman's job to cover. So they flip to third. to get the out there, but your job is still to be here. Same situation though. All right, any ball hit to the outfield, you're still covering second base. Any play that is to not home, the shortstop is the cutoff. You're covering second. Any play that's at home, the first baseman comes across, and they're the cutoff for any play at home. All right. So bases loaded. Bases loaded. And I'm going to move you in here. Oops. Second baseman in. Let's talk about infield in. Right, infield in, the play we're talking about. We don't have 2 outs, right? So we're talking about 0 outs or 1 out. Right, ball hit to the left side. Where's the ball? The ball's way out here. Ball hit to the left side, especially if it's the outfield, your job is to go cover second base. Even if it's hit into the infield, if it's to the pitcher, if it's to the shortstop, if it's to the third baseman, if it's dribbled out in front. Oh, I didn't put a runner on third with bases loaded. There we go. The ball play is not really going to probably come to you at second base, but your job is still to go cover, right? Because the play is most likely here, going to go to home, and if we have enough time, it goes first. Back to the pitcher, comes home, that goes first. Shortstop is coming home. Anything in the outfield, you still go cover second. If there's a play at home, the first baseman becomes the cutoff. So anytime the ball is hit to center and left, your job in any situation is to cover first base, or to cover second base, I'm sorry. Anytime the ball is hit to the left side, your job is to cover second base. The only exception for that, the batter, let's get one because they don't square around the bunt very often with bases loaded. Anytime you see that batter square around a bunt, what's your responsibility? Your responsibility is to go cover first base as the first baseman charges. Okay, those are our situations to any ball that is hit to left, or the left side of the field. You kind of follow the ball. Ball's hit to the left, it takes you towards second base. All right, oops, there you are. Let's reset here. Okay, let's go nobody on, nobody out. Or I should just say nobody on. Put everybody back. All right, nobody on. Ball hit to the right side or your side. Once again, you follow the ball, right? You follow the direction that the ball goes. So nobody on, ball hit to you, field it, make the play at first. Ball hit here to first base, right? We've talked about this in other videos. The first baseman fields it. Your job, if we follow the ball, which we're supposed to do, is to charge back up, and then you will communicate with the first baseman. If they're going to tag it, they say, I got it, and they run over and tag base. But if the ball takes them too far off the base, your job, slide over, stand on first. The first baseman is going to flip it to you, all right? So anything to the left side that's on the infield, that's a shortstop, right? Anything to the right side that's on the infield, you travel towards the ball, all right? If the first baseman gets it, you continue on. Hit to the first baseman, you back up, then continue on, all right? Anytime in this situation, anytime a ball is hit to, this always applies, anytime the ball is hit to the outfield and it's to right center, so let's say from here all the way over, you are the cutoff man. So you will be going out to cut off. And just like you were doing for left and left center, the shortstop always covers second base for a ball hit to the right field, or to the right side of the field if it's in the outfield. All right, makes sense. I'm going to leave the shortstop here because as the shortstop kind of follows the ball like you. So if a ball is hit to the right side, their automatic play is going to be to go cover second. So I'm just going to leave the shortstop there. Let's start putting runners on base. All right. Put a runner on first. All right. Talk about runner on first with 2 outs. Runner on first with 2 outs, ball hit to you. With 2 outs, make the easiest out. If the easiest out is here, that's a force out, flip to short. If the easiest out is to first base, flip to first base, throw to first base, get the out, inning over. Okay. If there aren't two outs, no, let's say ball hit to first base, they're going to field it, and your job. What's your job in this situation with two outs? Is to back up and then rotate to cover the base in case they need to flip it to you. But with less than two outs, we're trying to get the lead runner. So runner on first, ball hit to you. You are going to flip it to short. Shortstop is going to try and return throw it first to get a double play. All right. And these are for balls that are hit at you or take you towards second base. Now, the one kicker here that we need to have a mindset, and this is the easiest way, honestly, this is the easiest way to turn a double play. You want to turn a double play, this is the easiest way. Ball is hit right there. You come up and field it right here. But you have to remember that this runner is running. They're going to run right by you. You field it, you tag them. That's one out. Then you throw, oops, I hit that. Then you throw the ball to first base, right? So ball at you or ball taking you towards second base, either tag the runner and throw to first or flip to second. That's your move. Remember, can tag the runner. The only other situation, the only reason we're not going to try and get the lead runner is if a ball is, oops, that's first base. Is if a ball is hit, say, right here. All right. In your momentum, when you go to field it, you start right here. Okay, ball is hit. You have to go field it. Your momentum is taking you to first base. That we're probably just going to flip it to first because it's very difficult. Your momentum's taking you to first to have to make a hard throw this direction. So we are okay if your momentum is taking you to first base, field the ball, flip to first. If the ball is directly at you, go to second. If the ball is taking you to second, field it, flip to second, or tag the runner. And that is the case for if there's a runner on first base, or if there's a runner on first and second. The plays are still the same for you. Your play is going to be to go to second to get that runner. You're not going to field the ball and try and throw the runner out at third. We're not going to ask you to do that. So it is the same situation with less than two outs, right? Ball comes to you, you field it, you can tag the runner, you can flip to second, or if momentum is taking you towards first, you throw the ball to first. All right. Well, what if the ball is hit towards first base? And this is also the same situation in both scenarios. Your job is to, let's move it right there. Let's move the first baseman off first base. They field the ball there. Ball is hit to first base. Your job is to back up, make sure that first baseman fields the ball. And when they field the ball, they're throwing it to second. In this scenario, let's take that runner off. Take that runner off second. They're throwing the ball to second, and that shortstop is going to try and throw the ball back to you, covering first base. Back the runner up, or back the first baseman up, then continue on to cover the bag. There are some times that we've talked about it with the first baseman that there is a ball that is hit really close to the bag. Boom, and they can step on the bag real quick. So your job in this scenario is you still hustling to back up. But if they field the ball and step on the bag, getting out one, remember there is no longer now a force out at shortstop. They are going to step on the bag, and then as that runner advances, they probably don't know that it's not a force out anymore. The throw comes, and what are you yelling along with the first baseman? Tag, 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 to alert the shortstop that they have to tag the runner. Okay, it's not a force play. The situation, let's go back. Let's put a runner on first and second now. Hard hit ball, same situation. If they're close to the base, they're going to step on the base. You're backing up. There's nobody now running. There's an out right there, throwing to second, tag, tag, tag. But let's pretend in this scenario that the first baseman fields it off the base. They're not going to tag the base. They field it. You back up. The second baseman backs up, then rotates to first. In a scenario, they throw, and the shortstop throws back to you to try and complete the double play. Well, this runner that was on second has now made it to third and has the potential to round. What is your job? You now have the ball. Your job is to sprint at them and try and drive them back to third base, right? Anytime we have a lead runner on and a runner on and you receive the ball, you sprint at them to try and drive back to base. Once they drive back to base, flip the ball to the pitcher. Okay. Let's go in these scenarios. Let me get that runner back to second base. In all these situations, whether there's when the ball is hit to the outfield, in all of these situations, right, you are the cutoff to right or right center. And you're going to be going, if the ball is hit to right field here, any play that's going to second or going to third, you are the cutoff. All right. So in this scenario, right, we have a runner on second, a single, they may try and score, but that's not your cutoff. Your cutoff is not home. Your cutoff goes here or to second. Your cutoff goes here or to third. Who's the cutoff if it's going home? The cutoff going home is the first baseman. All right. But if the ball is hit over here, right, you are the cutoff. Center fielder will rotate out there. The ball is going to go to second. It goes boom, boom. And if the ball is going to go to third, oops, one, get in line, try and get in line with third base, and the ball is going to track boom. Cool. All right. Any questions about that? It does start to, you do start to move around quite a bit. So that is the scenario. Anytime there's a ball hit to the outfield, you are only the cutoff man to balls that are hit to the right side of the outfield, right center and outfield, and that the play is going to be at second or third. And this is, your back is to the infield is super important. Have your ears ready. Coaches, players are going to be telling you where the play is, right? Where the play is. And if it's four, you have to get out of the way and know that it's a first baseman's job to cut home. But if it's the second or third, you get your hands up, you get the attention of those outfielders. They have to know it's going to you. Don't make them think about it. You let them know that they're coming to you. Okay. All right. Lastly, let's go to bases loaded and then runner on second. All right, bases loaded. Softball retreats. Second base. Oftentimes, this is going to be infield in situation. Where's my shortstop? Infield in, there's now a force at home. Ball hit to you. You come home. Hopefully, if it's quick enough, we'll go back to first for a double play. Anything hit to this side, you go and cover right. Or I'm sorry, you go and cover second base. Anything that's hit to the first baseman, especially if they have to charge, what's your job? You back up the first baseman. They throw home. If they're too far off, you're back to cover first base in case the catcher is going to return throw to you. All right. So ball to the left side, go to second. Ball to the right side, either field it, back up, cover base. Right. Those are your situations. Trying to think. Situations alter just in terms of if we start taking runner, you can do runners on first and third, right? For all intents and purposes, unless the coaches say we're going to try and get the runner out at home and they bring the infield in, you can just treat this situation for your purposes as if there's no runner on third. So you just do runner on first. Runner on third means nothing to you unless we're trying to get the runner out at home. All right. That's all that means. With a runner on only on second base. All right. This scenario, any ball hit to you, your out is at home. Any ball hit to the first baseman, you back up and then you cover first. If the ball gets flipped to you, This runner will advance, you flip the ball, sprint across at the runner. And then in any situation like this, if I were to quiz you right now and say, runner on second, 1 out, and the batter squares around a bunt, what's your job? Second baseman's job is to hustle and cover first because the first baseman is crashing. Those are your basic situations and responsibilities as a second baseman. And the easy, simple reminder is you kind of follow where the ball goes. Ball goes to the left side of the field, you go to second. Ball goes to the right side of the field, you either cover first or you're out cutting, backing up the first baseman, you're out cutting. All right. So that's the primary thing. And then when a player squares around a bunt, your job is to hustle over there and cover first base. Those are the responsibilities for our first for our second baseman.